The folks in Buffalo love their Bills, and a moment ago they entered to the delight of this sold-out crowd. They're set for football as their Bills will do battle with the Las Vegas Raiders. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Now the first carry for Devin Singletary. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game. And I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Tap forward by Allen on the jet sweep. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach, and let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're growing louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on him. You hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Now Allen works right side into the hands of the tight end Knox. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked out and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
On third down, here comes Jacobs. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Allen off the play fake. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. That was perfect. From distance, he steps up, knocks it right down Main Street.
And Main Street's celebrating right now with him, aren't they? I love the mechanics of the whole thing. Snap, hold, everything was right on target, and the blocking was perfect, and he executed so well.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And there, of course, was a lot of talk about this ball game coming into play. 2 division leaders in the AFC. Could this be a potential playoff preview down the line?
Yeah, and I think when you talk about the talk about this game coming into play, you're talking about me because I blew up your phone all week prior to this one. I was so excited about this game because, to me, it's not out of the realm of possibility that these 2 teams see each other again down the road. I like this matchup. They match up very well against each other.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Going on the ground with Jacobs. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Steps away. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 43. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
On 2nd and very short, Carr sliding out of the pocket. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
On 1st and goal, Drake. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll take us to the end of the first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Carr. Touchdown Raiders. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know, following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. Completes this one to Starks. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in...
And now following that last play, I do believe we're going to get a review here. Yes, indeed, the red flag is out.
Turnover, that's what we do. Other way, let's go.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have one challenge remaining. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. On the handoff, it's Singletary. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
It's 2nd and inches. Double tight, guys, double tight. Easy, 4 down, easy. Watch 20, check 20. Kill.
Now Allen going to give it to Moss. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
On 2nd down now, it's Moss. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Zach Moss with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bills on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Extra point forthcoming. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. This to Jacobs on the toss right. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now they'll throw with Carr. That's caught by Waller out left side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football. On 2nd and 9, Carr.
And he'll throw this one away, but I don't think he was out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose it down on the grounding call. Here's Carr to throw. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There's pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
At their own 44-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
That's quickly out wide to Davis. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Play action. Now it's Allen. Open man is Trey Burton. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 40 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What, is it 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
They run here with Singletary. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. He hits Beasley right side. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
If you're a wide receiver and they call a screen pass, you're counting on some people being out in front of you blocking. But that play was well diagnosed by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, and they got there and swarmed and finished off the play.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run. Here's Moss. Yeah, he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. The kick by Bass is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Oh, trying to gauge the sun, and he muffs it. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. Now Carr. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And you wonder if with Allen's arm, they might just take their chances by dialing up a long one. On first down, they'll start out with Singletary. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. So we've reached halftime here in Orchard Park with the Bills taking the lead into the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Shotgun now for Carr. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Carr. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. On play action, Allen. Completes it to the tight end, Burton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to... attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 46. They'll run out of the gun with Singletary. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll try to run for this with Singletary. Singletary loses it, and the Raiders pick it up. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the gun, it's Carr. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. And Oliver in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Carr now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. 2nd and 11 now. Now Allen off the bootleg. It's complete. This is Starks. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Singletary again. And he's going to be close to a 1st down as he gets this to the Raiders' 38.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. On the give, this is Singletary. And they're able to get this one past the 30, down to the 25. 72 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They'll run on 1st down with Moss. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
2nd and 11. On play action, Allen looking for the end zone. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. The Bills will add on to their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give him a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the bouncing ring. You talk about them committing.
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Allen will try to throw for it. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's...
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it, and the Bills are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball.
And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. Jonathan Hankins forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. Second and 20. Another try after the first down sack. Allen escaping the pressure right. Finding some room at midfield. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big pick up there on the scramble.
The sack on first down took him out of a traditional running play and put him in a passing situation, but didn't stop him from running anyway, did it?
No, I was surprised when he took off. I thought, oh, he's got some space. He might pick up 5, 6, 7 yards. He goes all the way and picks up the first. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Second and 8. From the gun, it's Allen. Eluding the pressure right. And Allen will have the first down as he's able to slide to avoid the contact at the end.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Again, it'll be Singletary. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Singletary. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
The holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal. Now Allen. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Now this one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
You certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game. And that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. 2nd and 10. Carr going to throw. Man open, that's Henry Ruggs. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. The Raiders on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Carr. Flushed out right. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big play there for the Raiders.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. They fake the handoff. Now Carr out to his left. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. To throw, it's Carr. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Escape, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Carr, got to have this one. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And the Bills will take over here just shy of the 30. Well, I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he can do there. And he winds up giving the ball away.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Right back to Singletary on 2nd down. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Allen completes this one to Starks. And he is going to have a Bills 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win.
Block defense. Keep it up, guys. 14's the mic. 14's the mic.
And they take a knee. Two running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close